All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the one and only Wrestling Attacker channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC. We're the best reviews wrestling and your three-time YWC channel of the year. And I'm back here. It is now officially Friday, March the 28th of 2025. So as you can see, I'm outside in front of back of the famous library where I've done videos in the past and such. So we're starting. It's almost the weekend here. It's Friday, obviously, so it's the start of the weekend. So I hope you all have a good weekend, and I got some more content coming to the channel very soon. Got to head into the job a little bit here, so I figured I'd do a video while I'm out. So today, I want to kind of give my thoughts on something that a lot of people within the wrestling realm have been talking about for a good while, for at least a good week or so, and just the stupidity and the absurdity of some of the remarks that we've been hearing in regards to this particular situation, in regards to this particular story, regarding a certain match, or a certain spot, I should say. I think a lot of you know where I'm going. But before that, I just kind of want to share my thoughts, if you will, because I've been thinking about this for a while, and I've shared this sentiment on social media recently, and that is the fact that I just got to, ask, generally speaking, when did this fan base, when did the pro wrestling fan base become so pussified? They become so pussified, they become so fucking scared of their own shadow. They become so basically conditioned to how things should be or how they are supposed to be, rather than, just enjoying shit for what it is. And I don't even really want to call them wrestling fans, because they're more like fucking brainwashed WWE Muppets, brainwashed WWE zombies, those sports entertainment fans is really what I want to call them. They're not fucking wrestling fans, let's just be real. But it seems like a lot of these WWE marks are so conditioned during the Vince McMahon era, the sports entertainment era, this PG era bullshit, that if they see anything that goes beyond that, if they see anything more extreme than what they're accustomed to, then they fucking get it, fucking their panties in a wad about it. They get all sensitive and in their feelings about it. Like, they're so fucking sensitive and so pussified. It's just ridiculous. And the thing, of course, that I'm talking about, the talking point, the thing that a lot of people are kind of giving their opinions on, they're kind of up in arms about for whatever dumb reason, is the AEW World Title match that we saw on last week's Dynamite. Not this past week's Dynamite, on Wednesday, but I'm talking about the week before that. Of course, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match, the street fight between the champion Jon Moxley and the challenger Adam Copeland, or Cope. The rematch, of course, of their match, the main event match they had at Revolution. The same one where people were saying, oh, this match was bad, oh, it was boring, it was slow, it wasn't that good, and blah, blah, blah. And, my thing is, it wasn't a bad match, Was it the best match on that show? No, it wasn't, because there were 3 matches that came on before it that were freaking Match of the Year candidate 5-star classics. And then that match followed as the main event, and then of course you compare those previous matches to the main event, and you're like, of course, it's going to come off as not as good, but it wasn't a bad match. It was an old school style, heel works over babyface, elder statesman, old school world title match, heel versus babyface match, where the heel works over the babyface and so on and so forth. It was a slow-paced match, but it was decent. It was solid. It wasn't a bad match like people were making it out to be. And so AEW, what they did was they went out and they announced that they're going to have a rematch on Dynamite, and it was going to be a street fight. So they ended up having a street fight, and it was a damn good match. Some people say it was much better than their world title match at Revolution, which obviously, you have a street fight element to it. You had that street fight element to it. You had some spots. But the one spot, of course, that everybody's talking about was the spot where they were in the ring. Adam Copeland introduced his one weapon, the gimmicked weapon, the 2x4 with the nails on the side of it. It looked like made it look like a big fucking brush or whatever, like a supersized brush. The nailed 2x4, which he calls Spike. There was a spot in the match where he used it a couple times on Moxley, and then he dropped it on the mat, and then he hit him with a suplex. Moxley fell back first onto the nails, and the nails got embedded in his back, and he sat up, and the nails were impaling his back. And ever since that spot, all fucking you've been hearing on social media is people bitching and moaning and complaining about that spot. Like, oh my god, it's so graphic. Oh, it's too graphic. It's too violent. Jon Moxley shouldn't have taken that spot. And it's like, what are you people complaining about? Like, seriously, these are the same people, mind you, these are the same people who years past were so desperate to get back to the ways of ECW, so desperate to get back to, the Attitude Era and the things we saw in the Attitude Era and that hardcore style, and, the more edgy, more adult-oriented content that we saw in the early 2000s in the 90s and 2000s with the Attitude Era and ECW, stuff like that. And here they are complaining about a damn spot in a fucking AEW match. Because, oh my God, Jon Moxley got his back stuck with a freaking board with or 2x4 with freaking nails in it. Oh my God, this is too graphic. It's like, grow a spine, dude. Like, are you guys fucking children? Like, seriously. It's like that is honestly the worst thing you've seen. We've seen stuff way worse in fucking pro wrestling over the last 20, 30 years. I know for a fact I've seen a lot of graphic spots over the years. We've seen people fucking head smashed in with chairs, fucking guys with needle stabbed, fucking stabbing needles in their mouth and shit. We've seen people get staple gun, in their foreheads and shit. We've seen people being put through flaming tables. We saw one spot, I remember in 2002, where a flaming barbed wire 2x4 was used on somebody. That was in the Triple H Shawn Michaels match, back in Armageddon 2002. You've seen a lot of graphic shit over the years. And this is the worst, this is the most graphic thing you've ever seen? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's so ridiculous, dude. And people complaining about that spot. Like, oh my God, it's too violent. Oh, the AEW, they're too violent. Oh, the wrestlers are gonna get hurt someday. The wrestlers are gonna die in the ring someday. Well, I don't know if you remember Owen Hart. Owen Hart died in the WWE ring back in WWF back in '99 over the Edge. That tragedy. May he rest in peace. But yeah, it's like people bitching and moaning about a fucking spot in a street fight match when Jon Moxley, when he more than likely, was okay with the spot. He more than likely asked for the spot himself. He more than likely wanted to do the spot himself. And Cope too. And I'm sure they both, agreed to do that spot before the match. And Tony Khan okayed it, and that's why it happened. But these guys are clearly okay with doing the spot, and you motherfuckers are sitting online bitching. And it's bad enough that the fans are doing this, but now you got some other fucking wrestlers who are complaining about it. And of all the wrestlers to be complaining about it, you got fucking guys who used to be in the old school ECW. Specifically, I'm talking about guys like Bully Ray and guys like Rob Van Dam who have gone out and publicly talked about this, and they were basically condemning it. Basically condemning it like it was such a bad thing. You got Bully Ray talking about, that spot wasn't good for AEW, and Jon Moxley shouldn't work for the pop. He should pop people with his work or some stupid shit like that. And mind you, this is the same guy in Bully Ray who used to put people through fucking flaming tables when he was in ECW. And even, when he was in WWE for a while. ECW One Night Stand put somebody through a fucking flaming table. Same guy who used to work in ECW with all those graphic, gruesome spots that he did and all that shit. And I went back and watched some of his old school ECW matches and even some of his matches in WWF. And there was some violent graphic stuff that he took, violent spots that he used on other people and that he took himself. And he's complaining about a fucking weapon spot in AEW. And then you got Rob Van Dam going on a podcast talking about, well, that's not real wrestling. Well, that's not real wrestling. This is why I associate more, or I want to associate more with WWE than AEW. It's like the same Rob Van Dam who, mind you, was in AEW for a time and who wrestled and who actually was, doing well for his age, and he was actually getting a pop, but now all of a sudden he's back in WWE and he's drinking that WWE Kool-Aid, and now he has to sit here and take side jabs at AEW, talk about it's not real wrestling. Not real wrestling. This is the same fucking Rob Van Dam who, again, was in ECW. And need I remind you, folks, the same Rob Van Dam who in TNA, when he was in TNA in 2010, when he was the TNA World's Champion, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he took a spot with a similar weapon of a barbed wire, not barbed wire, I keep saying barbed wire, of a 2x4 with nails in it called Janus, which was Abyss, Heel Abyss's signature weapon at the time in 2010. He took a fucking similar spot where he took a fucking weapon shot. Or at the very least, it was implied because it was a backstage segment that didn't actually show him taking the fucking weapon to the midsection or whatever, or to the body or whatever. But he was bleeding all over the place, and they sold it like it was a serious attack, and RVD was taken off TV for a number of weeks until they promoted the match between RVD and Abyss at that year's Bound for Glory. And, this happened. And again, this is Rob Van Dam, the guy who's fucking, bouncing off freaking, tall scaffolds and tall platforms and doing all these death-defying spots off of ladders and stuff, and, putting his body at risk and stuff. Him and Sabu, guys like Sabu, and they were doing all that crazy shit in ECW, and he's sitting over here in podcasts talking about how a weapon spot in AEW is not real wrestling. Now, get the fuck out of here, RVD. Get the fuck out of my face with that. Get the fuck out of my face. It's so obvious what these two guys are doing. They are obviously drinking the Kool-Aid of WWE because they are under contracts. They are under contracts currently to WWE. You got Bully Ray making cameo appearances in fucking NXT. You got Rob Van Dam making cameo appearances in NXT. What the fuck do you think these guys are doing? Like, what do you think that is? That's obviously WWE went out and told them to say that shit. Of course they're going to say something like that when it comes to AEW, when it comes to the competition. And yes, AEW is competition for WWE. They consider them competition. If they didn't, then they wouldn't be sitting here trying to fucking counter promote or trying to counter program fucking AEW's pay-per-views and their fucking shows that they're doing over in the UK. And all that kind of shit. They wouldn't sit here and be moving their fucking premium live events to fucking Saturday to go head to head with fucking Collision, AEW's B show. Get the fuck out of here, man. It's obvious what these two are doing. Bully Ray and RVD, these guys who are known for their time in ECW, doing all that extreme shit, yet they're sitting here condemning a fucking spot in a street fight in fucking AEW. It's like, get the hell out of here with that shit. It's obvious what these two are doing. They're obviously putting down and condemning AEW on behalf of WWE because that is their current fucking employer. Because they're under contract. They're likely getting money. They are getting paid, basically, to fucking tell you this. They're getting paid to condemn Jon Moxley in that fucking nailed 2x4 spot. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, man. It's fucking ridiculous. When did pro wrestling become so fucking pussified? When did pro wrestling become so fucking soft, basically? These people are soft. And Bully Ray and RVD condemning that spot just goes to show you what the hell is going on. Just goes to show you where those two guys' priorities are, where their loyalties lie. The fix is in. Let's be real. In terms of Bully Ray and Rob Van Dam and all these fucking people in wrestling, these former ECW guys who are condemning AEW for a fucking spot, the fix is in, okay? That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it's all about right there. The almighty dollar. That's why they're saying that shit. Let's be real. With all these fans out here who are fucking so pussified because of a goddamn spot where a guy gets impaled in his back with nails. Oh, it's so graphic. It's so violent. All the graphic and violent shit you saw in ECW, all the graphic violent shit you saw in WWF during the early days, during the Attitude Era and all that shit, and everything else. But this is the most violent thing you've ever seen. Fucking pussies. Grow a set of balls. Jesus. You see worse. I've seen worse stuff like that in freaking PG-14 or TV-14 fucking rated shows on television. Fuck out of here, dude. God, man, this generation is so pussified, dude. You even had, at one point, and I saw this earlier, I saw a screenshot on one of the group chats that I'm a part of. Somebody actually, oh my fucking God, these people are goddamn ridiculous. Somebody actually went and messaged they went out and actually messaged Max, the streaming service, Max. They went out and messaged them personally. I don't know how the fuck they got their contact information. I guess they have a method of contacting them or emailing them or whatever. But somebody actually took the trouble of going out and contacting the Max streaming service to tell them how fucking disgusting that fucking spot was on Dynamite. And they gave him a fucking automated answer. It's like, you have got to be the biggest fucking loser, the biggest fucking pussy in the world to go out and contact the fucking streaming service, contact the fucking streaming provider, cable provider, whatever, to go out and contact the company because, oh my God, you were so offended by a spot in a wrestling match. You got to be the biggest fucking dork on the planet, the biggest pussy-ass loser on the planet to do that. And of course, the individual who did it was a part of Jim Cornette's cult, or he was named official Jim Colt Cornette, or some bullshit like that. It's like no surprise there. No surprise there, because Jim Cornette cultist fans are the biggest fucking losers on the planet anyway. But yeah, man, so stuff like that just gets me going, dude. It just agitates you. Just agitates you to see how fucking how fucking bitch-made and pussified the fan base has become now. It's ridiculous. All over a damn spot, which the wrestlers likely agreed to themselves, and they took it upon themselves to do in this match. And you know, Jon Moxley, he's willing to go above and beyond for shit like that, for his matches, for his craft. I said this before. Jon Moxley, don't ever question that man's loyalty to the business. Don't ever question his loyalty to his craft, to pro wrestling, and to AEW. He's willing to go above and beyond, put his body on the line. That's what you got to do, you know? That's what he wants to do. But you want to sit here and bitch about that. Fuck off. You're not real fans of the business then. You know? Jon Moxley's taken way worse spots than that. He's taken spots just as bad over the years. In CZW, during his time in the Indies, you know, New Japan, you know, barbed wire death match, Texas death matches and shit. He's done some nasty shit. But a barbed wire, but I keep saying again, barbed wire, but a fucking shot with a nailed 2x4 to the back and having his back impaled by it is the worst thing ever to you. Grow the fuck up, grow a set of balls, stop being pussified. It's goddamn pro wrestling. It isn't fucking, as the old saying goes, it isn't fucking ballet, okay? It's not synchronized swimming, this is fucking wrestling, okay? If it's too violent for you, fucking stop being a fan of it, stop watching it, go watch something else. Simple as that, man. Ridiculous. Ridiculous how pussified this fan base is now. But anyway, so that's pretty much all I gotta say for that. So, I mean, there's not really much more to say. Wrestling fans, these sports entertainment WWE cultists, these WWE loyalist fucking dickwads need to grow a set of balls. Stop being children and understand that this is what the business is. If you don't like it, go be a fan of fucking something else already. Because you're not wanted or needed in this fan base. Simple as that. But anyway, that's all I gotta say for this. So thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video, leave a comment, give me your thoughts on what I talked about here, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the spark can get. With that being said, it's pretty much going to do it, man. So thank you for watching once more. Till next time, Wrestle Otaku. I'm out for now. See you guys later. Peace.